we are going to go help Thane resolve some issues with his son in the Citadel in a little bit, but first I want to go deal with this blood pack base. We apparently worked to find the location of this, so might as well go put a stop to whatever they're doing. Doesn't really matter. It's a blood pack base. It's good. That's reason enough. Go wipe it off the map. Alright, now notice Miranda's powers work out evenly to where you can max out all three of these. And I've noticed that's not always the case with some of the other followers. I think it's that spare point that they sometimes get in their special ability and maybe sometimes not. Or something, or maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Now, for those of you who are big fans of, say, Slam, I have noticed, and this is my personal game experience, the way I play, that Slam... I spend a lot of time knocking down enemy resistances, and Slam doesn't seem to work until an enemy is down to their basic health bar. As long as they have armor or shielding up, or barrier or whatever, then Slam is essentially doesn't really do much. Now, once you can pick them up and, you know, throw them all over the place like a rag doll, well, that's great. But I spend more time knocking down the resistances than I do actually...
I am detecting a large power source inside the base. It is probable that destroying it would disrupt the entire facility.
Yeah, than I do actually dealing with enemies with basic health bars. I mean, even your husks have a full bar of armor, for the most part. And so, I don't know. That's just me. I'd rather apply the points to abilities that work all the time. And also, there's some things I'm just not in the habit of using. Like, you know, I habitually, when I'm fighting, I don't stop to think about every single attack I make type of thing. Is once I pretty much know what I'm going to do, then I can hit my buttons instinctively and just go on with it. Just roll right on through the game. And so, some things, especially some things that might require a bit of planning. Now, that's in this. Now, there are other games where there may be combos, certain button presses in a certain order to, like, say, apply maximum damage or get off, you know, special hits or something like that. Say, like in Dragon Age Inquisition or something like that. Well, then, even then, I get in the habit of using those, and if you were to try to throw some different skills into my character, even if something might technically work better with something else, if it doesn't fit into my playstyle, and it requires a lot of things that I don't do, like, say, going to the power wheels, going to the tactics, pausing the game a lot and stuff, then I'm probably not going to go for that. Because I like more of a free-flowing gameplay when I can. And that's just me. Some people might say, well, you know, you can get 3 more points of damage per hit if you do this, this, and this, and this, and specifically that order, and stop the game here and pause there and put this person over here and then do that and specifically line up this shot after that shot and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's a tactical kind of gameplay, which I know some players find to be a lot of fun, just in and of itself. They consider that kind of like a mini game within the game. I totally respect that. That is, I get it. I get it. But that's not really how I like to play. Personally, I kind of like to just roll along with it. And so certain things that I can just, I'll assign a certain power to the direction buttons and then just go, you know. Every once in a while, pause when I need somebody to move somewhere specifically or do something or whatever. But for the most part, I just like to roll like this.
Not a problem.
And so the powers that I apply pretty much work all the time. Like Overload even works against enemies with a bare health bar. I mean, it still stuns them and staggers them, if nothing else. So if I do press it when I don't, even if the shield's not up, and I use it, it still serves some purpose, type of thing. Warp is good against pretty much everything, right? Except for shields. Doesn't seem to do much against shields. But I've got ammo for that, and so I basically work all that out so I can just play without having to think about it too much. Once I have my skills lined out, I just kind of like to go. So. That's just me, anyway. Slam is pretty cool, though. Once you do get an enemy's armor and stuff down, pick them up and then just thump them off the ground, and it's usually a one-shotter right there. And if you can get mobs like that, that's great. If you can get mobs that don't have resistances, but I've found that to be very seldom. Especially on Insanity. I think on the lower difficulties, there are some enemies that don't have immunities and resistances like they do on the higher ones. Like a lot of times, I think, you know, if you're playing on just, say, normal or even easy mode, I don't think many of the enemies have an armor bar at all. You'll find a lot of enemies just running around with whatever health bar they have, and that's that.
Watch out! Firing a high impact shot. That one hit.
Oh, I was noticing that explosive canister up there, thinking, you know, that's over there in a place where I can't reach it. It's got to be there for a reason. There we go.
Not a problem. Nice. I'm on it.
Is that it? That can't be it. That was a few Vorcha, but that... I don't know. A little too easy. There we go. There's him. Well, they're blood packed. It's got to be a Krogan. This dude's got a hell of an armor, doesn't he? That's not very good cover there, Miranda. Yep. Wrecking shop. I'm not stupid, I'll leave. You come up in here, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna let you come up on me with your shotgun or whatever you got there. Yeah, look at this dude's health full. Alright, so we got one or two more Vorcha over there, I guess. Oh, that was kind of a waste of that round, sort of. Oh, okay. Now, see, Reeve does something against armor. Sure enough, they weren't heavily armored, but it does its work. It is, I'm not gonna lie, it is my favorite ability in Mass Effect 2. Overall. It can be a lifesaver sometimes.
Let's take a closer look.
Give you a little health back in a pinch. Takes care of armor. I haven't seen it really noticeably all that effective against barriers, but apparently, I mean, it's a biotic, so barriers in on Insanity are really strong anyway, regardless. Anytime you see an enemy with a barrier up, it's going to be stout. You might be able to work with it by, you know, detonating a few warps and stuff on it and all that, but still, it's got a lot of its own hit points, you know. I think this is all we need to do here.
Come on, we need to leave.
Sure, let's just stand right next to it while it blows up. Alright. Anyway, we apparently worked to find this place, so
This looks interesting.
figure we might as well take care of it. Heavy weapon ammo, that'll work. Alright, I was thinking we could go to the Citadel. Thane's son has apparently become disconnected. It was cool the way he explained it. Is that the soul and the body are supposed to kind of be together, but when one is really, really sick, or when one is troubled or mentally ill or whatever, then that person becomes disconnected and their body tends to do something on its own or apart from what the soul might wish to be doing. Or yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty cool concept. Anyway. I don't know what it is, but there's always something kind of peaceful about arriving at the Citadel. It must just go all the way back to Mass Effect 1 and the amount of time spent at the beginning of the game on the Citadel. And I wonder if that was by design, but if it was, it's genius. Because it kind of gives you a sense of a home base, sort of. When you come back there, you can find some peace. And yeah, see, we're going to have a point left over. We're either going to be a point short or have a point left over. So I can't max out Incendiary and... Yep, see? Now I can even his points out, but once again, I can't max out his skills. So Miranda gets an extra point or two.
CSEC appears to be investigating the death of Sidonis, Shepard. They currently have no leads. Also, according to CSEC, a Drell recently passed through customs. The CSEC office may have more information.
Let's go find Captain Bailey.
Citadel security would be the tightest in the galaxy. I see no fewer than 14 fatal flaws a skilled assassin could exploit. 8 of them existed when I was here 10 years ago.
Yes?
My associate's trying to find his son. We think a local criminal may have hired him.
That should be easy. We don't see many Drell here. There we go. One of my men reported a Drell recently. And he was talking to Mouse. Interesting.
Mouse?
Ah, petty criminal. Probably not the guy who hired your boy, but a messenger. He's a former duct rat. Runs errands for anyone who'll pay.
What sort of trouble has Mouse been getting himself into?
Odd jobs for shifty people. Duct rats take whatever is available to get by. Data running, fencing stolen goods, selling illegal VI personalities. Actually, he was selling one of you.
Me?
Yeah, when you erased a file, it would say, I delete data like you on the way to real errors. Buggy, though. It crashed every half hour. The error message was about how the galaxy was at stake, and you should fix the problem yourself.
What was it you called Mouse?
A duct rat. It's a local slang for the poor kids who grow up in the station. When they're small, they tend to play in the ventilation ducts where adults can't get to them.
Aren't the ducks dangerous?
Every couple of months, we pull a little body out of them. Lacerated by fan blades, broken by a deadfall, suffocated by vacuum exposure. Those are just the ones we know about. More just disappear. Maybe they get sucked into space. Maybe they fall into the protein vats the keepers run. And Mouse survived long enough that he can't fit in the ducts anymore. He was one of the smarter ones, or the luckier ones.
I've heard enough.
Mouse is usually upstairs outside the Dark Star. He works out of a public comm terminal. You should pick up a copy of the Shepard VI when you talk to him. It sounds like your boy's running with the wrong crowd.
Yes, I agree.
If Mouse can't get you in touch with your son directly, he'll know who can. I'll help you if you need it.
We better hurry then.
You didn't tell him that Kolyat plans to assassinate someone.
I also didn't tell him what you do for a living. Do you normally discuss assassinations with the police?
I take your point. Thank you, Shepard.
There he is.
Yeah, sure. I can get you 2 cases by the end of the day.
You Mouse?
What are you... Oh, shit. Krios. I thought you were retired. Commander Shepard? I thought you died. What do you want with me?
Be still, Mouse. You can change your pants in a moment.
How do you know Thane?
Krios? He didn't... If he didn't say nothing, I ain't either.
When we heard the name, I didn't think it could be the same Mouse. He was a contact on the Citadel when I was active. He and some other children would gather information on my targets.
We need you to answer some questions.
And the people I work for... Look, I can't answer questions for just anybody.
But you can for me. You gave another Drell instructions for an assassination. Who's the target?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Because the people I work for...
We don't have time for this.
God, Thane, help me.
Help me, Mouse. My son is out there, in the dark.
That's why I carried for him. I thought you'd want me to. Please.
Explain.
He came in, said he was looking for work. He had a hollow of me, the one you took, Krios. I put the word out. Use your old contacts. Elias wanted to hire him. Elias Kelham.
One other thing. That Shepard VI you're selling?
Oh shit, you heard... Look, you were dead. It was totally legal to make a VI of you.
Give me a copy and we'll call it even.
What? I mean, sure, yeah, absolutely. Sorry about the whole... Just so you know, there's 3 Volas who are patching it all the time.
Tell me about Kelham.
Human. Moved to the Citadel about 10 years ago. He was little people when you were here, Krios. He got big after the Geth attack. Lots of the big guys from before got cacked all in them big fancy apartments up on the Presidium. Now he runs the rackets on the lower end of the ward. Shin Akiba. He's seriously bad news.
You just saved yourself a world of pain, kid.
Yeah, right. When Kelham finds out what I've done, I won't live long. And I can't do anything about it but hide. Krios, you got any kindness for me? Put a bullet in Kelham before you go.
Let's head back to Bailey.
Poor Mouse.
Can we talk about my associate's son?
You talked to Mouse? Did you get the name of the guy he's working with?
Elias Kelham.
Kelham. Shit. Look, this is awkward. Kelham and I have an agreement. He doesn't cause too much trouble and buys tickets to the CSEC charity ball from me. In return, I ignore him.
You want to accept bribes? Fine. I don't care how you run your precinct. I want to know if you're gonna help me.
Yeah, I'll help. Absolutely. I'll get some of my people to bring him in and set him up in a private room. You can interrogate him yourself. I'll stay out of sight. And if I'm lucky, Kelham will believe that I had nothing to do with it.
Bring him in. We might not have much time.
I'll make it happen. Wait here.
Kind of surprised. Hear that from Bailey. Well, maybe the agreement is like he said, so that Kelham doesn't cause quote-unquote too much trouble.
We've got Kelham. Tell Bailey we're ready.
He'll expect me to get him out of this.
Not today, I think.
Captain, his lawyer's here.
Bet Elias has his VI set to page him if CSEC gets within 10 meters.
I'll stall him. Get in there and work fast.
We should question him together. Keep the pressure on. Thoughts on how we approach it?
You talk to him. Appeal to his self-interest. I'll put the screws to him if he needs it.
Very well. I'll pretend to be on his side. But if we waste too much time negotiating, Bailey won't be able to stall Kelham's advocate.
Get me out of these restraints, Bailey. Pretty funny bringing me down here like this. Who the hell are you two?
My name's Shepard. I'm a Spectre.
Prove it.
I don't have to prove anything. Spectres are above the law. We clear?
Crystal.
Good. Now, fortunately, I'm not after you. You contracted an assassin. Who's the target?
Joram Talid. A Turian. He's running for office. He lives in the 800 blocks.
Thanks. You won't see us again. No offense, but you're a problem below my pay grade.
That may go down in history as the shortest interrogation ever.
What's the story? Why'd Kelham hire the boy?
Assassination. A Turian named Joram Talid. You know him?
Joram? Yeah. You might have seen his posters around. He's promising to end organized crime on the ward. Thing is, his message is all mixed up in race politics. He's anti-human.
Are things so bad that people can openly campaign as anti-human?
You haven't heard what the aliens have been saying? They think the Council died because our fleet refused to save them. That we stacked the new Council with humans and yes-men. Anderson does his best to be diplomatic, but they act like we're jackbooted thugs enforcing a coup.
I don't give a damn what Joram's politics are. This is about Thane's son, not him.
You might not care, but the people who live here do. Sergeant, get a patrol car. These two need to get to the 800 blocks.
Yes, sir.
Counselor Udino, that basically was his MO. But you can't lump all humans up into that same group.
There he is. How do you want to play this?
Follow to lead on the maintenance catwalks. Tell me what he's doing. The Krogan bodyguard will make him easy to follow.
Where will you...
The darkest corner with the best view. Amon Kira, Lord of Hunters. Grant that my hands be steady, my aim be true, and my feet swift. And should the worst come to pass, grant me forgiveness.
Friggin' ninja, man. Alright, so why would Kelham want this guy dead?
Talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on election day.
Oh, nice.
Show the humans they won't get their way.
I will. And I'll do it through legal processes, not by a coup attempt. And don't forget, my friends, there are treasonous elements in our own house. The humans seize power by themselves, but they can't hold on to it without the support of the lesser races. This doesn't stop here. I won't rest until the humans have been removed from power.
I'm on him, Thane. He's talking to some voters.
Understood.
Something tells me his ending of organized crime
Talking with you all.
is ending of human organized crime that's getting in the way of the Turian and Krogan organized crime. Right? Because it's elbowing in on his hustle. And so Kelham wants this guy out of the way because, well, obviously his anti-human criminal interests.
Looks like he's talking to another voter.
Any sign of Kolyat?
No.
I'm moving to another position. Ahead of him.
It's been wonderful talking with you all. I hope you'll come out on election day.
And, of course, all politicians have agendas like that, right?
No problem so far.
You think end to organized crime. Oh, he's a good guy. Realize, no, he just doesn't want the human crime getting in the way of the Turian crime. Moving in on his territory. So he's going to be... Oh, wow, it's just rotten.
Do you have the target?
I think I pressed the button too fast, I think. But we do get to see one thing here in a second. See, he's not personally doing it, but he's sending his Krogan in to shake down a human business, right? So he's here with his protection rackets and all this and that going on here. doing his own thing. So, guess what? He gets a bullet. Yeah, see, he's got his Krogan merc in there doing his dirty work so he can keep his political hands clean. Filth. Alright, well, that means if you're worried about the human rackets interfering with your rackets, then that means you're running rackets. And if you are, then you're guilty of the things that deserve a bullet. So, I'll go ahead and oblige. No problem with that. Sometimes you gotta read between the lines a little bit.
What's he doing? I don't have a good angle. What's he doing?
One of his guards is talking to the bartender.
No sign of trouble.
Uh-oh, I lost him.
I see him.
Okay, well that's good, because I don't.
Maybe you'd better do the damn job I pay you for. Like somebody...
Stay close, Shepard.
There he is.
He's meeting a couple of mercenaries. Looks like the same group his bodyguard comes from.
He looks nervous. Could be he's noticed you.
Maybe he saw Kolyat in here somewhere.
Also a possibility. There are obstructions ahead. I'll try to go around. Don't lose him.
Maybe you'd better do the damn job I pay you for. Hey, who are you?
I don't have time for this.
Doesn't pay to be a stock boy today.
I've got him.
Stay on him, Shepard.
Well, I'm guessing that's his son.
Kolyat! Thane,
I saw him.
he's heading to Talid's apartment.
Well, took care of a hired thug. Cool.
Kolyat.
This is a joke. Now you show him.
Help me, Drell. I'll do whatever you want.
CSEC, put the gun down, son.
Get out of my way. I'm walking out. He's coming with me.
They'll have snipers outside.
I don't need your help. All of you, back off! I'll kill him!
No, you won't.
Oh my gods.
Hostages only work when your enemy cares if they live.
Interesting solution.
He was a racist and a criminal. Isn't that enough?
To some, I suppose.
I read your files. Isn't that what you do? Kill people who do bad things?
Take the boy into custody.
You son of a bitch!
Your father and I have killed a lot of people. You haven't. There's no reason you should start.
I read his files. What made it all right for him to kill all those years?
I was 6 when the Hanar began to train me. I didn't know any better. Your mother woke me from my battle sleep.
And why did you leave her? Why weren't you there when she died?
Your mother. They killed her to get to me. It was my fault.
What?
After her body was given to the Deep, I went to find them. The Triggermen, the ringleaders. I hurt them. Eventually killed them. When I went back to see you, you were older. I should have stayed with you.
I guess it's too bad for me you waited so long, huh?
Kolyat, I've taken many bad things out of the world. You're the only good thing I ever added to it.
This isn't a conversation you should have in front of strangers. Boys, take Kolyat and his father back to the precinct. Give them a room and as much time as they need.
I'm surprised you're not trying to arrest all of us.
The kid obviously hadn't committed a crime in his life. Not so sure about the father, though. I have to get back to the precinct. Come on, I'll give you a lift.
Told you Bailey was cool. Like that. This is a conversation you should be having in front of strangers.
They've been in there a while.
The kid's been through a lot. I ran some searches in the CSEC archive. About 10 years back, a bunch of real bad people were killed. Like someone was cleaning house. The prime suspect was a Drell. We never caught.
Someone like that is trouble you don't want to deal with.
Someone's got to deal with it. Doesn't have to be me, though.
How'd it go?
Our problems, they aren't something I can fix with a few words. We'll keep talking, see what happens.
Your boy shot some people. No one I feel sympathy for, but they're...
That kid goes through the system, we both know he's there for the rest of his life. Those guys were a waste of skin, scales, whatever.
If you've got another suggestion, I'm listening.
Give him a job. He can work off his debt to society and you can keep an eye on him.
It sounds like more work for me, and I can't just deputize him into CSEC. You have to go through channels.
I didn't say have him work for CSEC. I said have him work for you.
Interesting. I'll think about it.
Thank you, Captain.
Once again, Bailey manning up. Actually, there is a small issue of some forged IDs I found. Had to go find the to give them to.
Talking. Having a problem?
A human. Your kind is always shoving your way in to solve the galaxy's problems, aren't you?
Look, little girl. When you need a problem shot, ask a Turian. When you need a problem talked to death, ask an Asari. When you need a new problem, ask a Solarian. When you want a problem fixed, ask a human.
Like you fixed the council? If you'll excuse us, we don't want to talk with your kind.
Your kind. And
what do you want?
We're the bigots, right?
It seems I offended you. That wasn't my intention.
Your attitude offends me. The smugness, the arrogance. All humans are like that since you let the Geth kill the real council. Now, the galaxy's in chaos. Pirates are striking in civilized clusters. Armed CSEC officers are everywhere for our protection. And you swagger up to me, thump your chest and tell me that only a human can solve my problems. Ha! Screw you.
You can sit here in your cushy chairs sipping drinks and bitching about humans because we saved your asses 2 years ago.
That's not...
If it weren't for the Alliance fleet, this station would have fallen to Sovereign and you'd all be Reaper Chow now. You're welcome. Enjoy your drinks, ladies.
What do you want?
It seems I offended you. That wasn't my intention.
Your attitude offends me. The smugness, the arrogance. All humans are like that since you let the Geth kill the real council. Now, the galaxy's in chaos. Pirates are striking in civilized clusters. Armed CSEC officers are everywhere for our protection. And you swagger up to me, thump your chest and tell me that only a human can solve my problems. Ha! Screw you.
Look, miss. I personally did not make the pirates attack or post guards on every street corner. If you want help, I'll try to provide it. Otherwise, I'll go away. What do you have to lose by talking to me?
Fine. Since your kind took over the council, they've added new security checks and travel restrictions, all to keep us safe, they claim. We've been flagged as a potential risk for Geth infiltration. They won't let us board a ship back to Asari space.
Why would they consider you a risk? You're obviously not Geth.
I don't know. They wouldn't tell us. We got on a list somewhere for some reason, and they won't tell us anything because it's classified.
Who won't let you board a ship?
I don't know who made the decision. Some pencil pusher at the shuttle port told us. The one outside the CSEC station?
I'll see if I can get it sorted out.
I'm not holding my breath.
Actually, I've never gone to see if there's actually anyone to talk to. Kind of curious about that. Now, I wonder if these two Asari are related to Binary Helix, I think. Wasn't that, Saren's company?
I should be going.
You need anything else, let me know.
Nothing from Bailey. There may not be anybody to talk to. I'm kind of curious, though. I'll go talk to this girl out here. But yeah, if they're associated with Binary Helix, then they would be put on a list, because it was on Novaria that Matriarch Venezia and her Asari brought all the Geth with them.
Can I help you, ma'am?
No, thank you. Just passing through.
Next.
I guess not. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to go through all that dialogue with them again. Just kind of exploring out the different dialogue options, too.
Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
I think the point here, though, and the only valid point out of all this, regardless of logic, arguments that appear to be logical, the only valid point made was that the only reason they can sit here and bitch and whine and moan over their expensive water is the fact that we did save their ass a couple years ago.
Want?
It seems I
You're
offended you.
and you swagger up to me.
If you want help, I'll try to...
Since we've been flagged as a potential risk for Geth infiltration.
Maybe these would work. They're new transit IDs.
How did you get those?
I acquired them from the stockpile of a very good forger. He won't be needing them anymore.
We won't get arrested for using them, will we?
I hope so.
Not if he's half as good as he likes to think he is. They'll probably only work once, though.
If it gets us on a flight home, no one will come to harm by it. We should get ready to leave. There should be another ship heading to Thessia tomorrow.
I still think maybe it was not the best thing to help them. Maybe.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Certainly.
What made you decide to become an assassin?
I was asked to become one. The Hanar trained my body for this role since I was 6 years old.
You've been killing since you were 6?
Of course not. I didn't make my first kill until I was 12. They were training me. I was not to be used and thrown away. I was an investment.
You were a child, not an investment.
I've given you the wrong idea. They valued me, yes, as a resource, but also as a person. They regretted their need for me.
The Hanar? Excessively polite, worship the Protheans? They don't seem the type who train assassins.
Every species trains assassins. The Hanar are only unusual in that they need other species to do the killing for them. They have a strong grip and natural toxins, but have you ever seen one move quickly outside of water? Or fire a gun?
Why did your parents agree to this?
The agreement was made under the Compact. It was an honor for our family.
The Compact?
We live on the Hanar homeworld because they rescued us, some of us, from extinction. We owe them our lives. That is the Compact.
What exactly are the terms of the Compact?
There are many things the Hanar can't do, even with mechanical aid. They ask Drell to assist.
The way you describe it, the Hanar sound like weaklings.
Out here, they are. But if you could see them in the encompassing, the oceans of Kaje, you would see them differently. A stream of silver in the dark, looping, diving. So fast the eye can't follow. Laughter like the squeals of a child vibrates the water. They fly over the black of the seabed like birds, plumed with the light of heaven.
Why was your race going extinct?
Overpopulation. That must sound trite to you. Humans developed Mass Effect drive before the problem became acute. Our homeworld, Rakana, had few resources. We hadn't even developed fusion power when the soil began to fail from overuse and pollution. The Hanar found us a century ago. They sent hundreds of ships, evacuated thousands of us. Billions more had to be left behind.
What's the state of Rakana now?
Do you read your philosophers? A man named Thomas Hobbes. When all the world is overcharged with inhabitants, then the last remedy of all is war, which provideth for every man by victory or death. As Rakana died around them, my people slaughtered each other for mouthfuls of water, crumbs of food.
But you don't kill for the Hanar anymore. You're freelance. What changed?
I was asleep for a long time, yes. I paid no attention to what my body was asked to do, but then... Laser dot trembles on the skull. One finger twitch, he dies. Then, the smell of spice on the spring wind. Sunset-covered eyes defiant in the scope. The laser dances away. My apologies. Drell slip into memory so easily.
Was that one of your assassinations?
Yes. Perhaps we can discuss it later. I've wasted too much of your time.
Huh. Something a little too personal for him, I guess. I just figured out that the Hanar are like the Dragon Age Chantry of Mass Effect. Just figured that out. And that the Drell are like their left and right hand,
I was just thinking about you.
so to speak.
Liara Chisoni's got quite a reputation. I've done business with her people before. I hear you and she were an item before. I bet it was hard running into her again after all this time. My heart goes out to Miranda and her sister. That's a rough situation. I'm glad to hear Thane and his son are back in touch. It'll be hard, but I think they'll be fine. Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
So apparently I could have been having a fling with Kelly Chambers and it wouldn't have been a fling. Because apparently after I died, that ended our relationship with Liara until the present, I guess.
I'm glad you came. I must ask for your help. That is not easy for me.
What do you need?
When we met on Ilium, I told you about a very dangerous person I was pursuing. Using the information you obtained, I have located her. She's been going by the name Morinth. I would like to apprehend her before she disappears again.
Didn't you say you'd pick up her trail after our mission?
I know where she is, right now. In a month, she may be gone. This is the best opportunity I've ever had.
How important is this?
Killing her has been my focus for 400 years. It is the most important thing in my life, and the reason I became a Justicar.
Where is she?
Omega, a nightclub called Afterlife, which seems a perfect place for her to hunt.
Tell me about her.
She is an Ardat Yakshi. It is a term from a dead Asari dialect. It means demon of the night winds, but that is mythology. She is simply a very dangerous woman who kills without mercy.
You're dangerous too.
As are you. But she is different. Morinth suffers a rare genetic disorder. When she mates with you, there is no gentle melding of nervous systems. She overpowers yours, burns it out, hemorrhages your brain. You end up a mindless shell, and soon after, you are dead.
So you hunt down these Asari just because they're born with a genetic condition?
It manifests with maturity. When one is diagnosed, she is offered the chance to live in seclusion and comfort. If she refuses, it shows her addiction to the ecstasy she gets from killing her mates. There is no redemption for such a person.
Why isn't this ever mentioned in Asari literature or art?
When we were primitive, there was much fascination with Ardat Yakshi. Some cultures worshipped them as gods of destruction. Now the Asari have a place in the galaxy, and they don't wish this defect to be widely known. As far as I know, only 3 exist today. 2 chose a life of seclusion. The 3rd ran.
Morinth.
She ran, and I am sworn to kill her.
Can't she abstain?
Each encounter gives her strength. The effect is narcotic. The more she does it, the more she needs to do it. She will never stop.
She can't.
Isn't she only deadly to the people she mates with?
Each time she kills, she becomes stronger, smarter, and faster. And she's been doing this for 400 years. She confuses her victims, twists their feelings. They will do anything for her favor.
We need to stop her.
Thank you, Commander. There are no words to express what this means to me. There is one thing more. This creature, this monster. She is my daughter.
You said this is genetic. How many children do you have?
3. And 3 Ardat Yakshi are in existence today. It is as it sounds. Morinth was always the wild one. She was happy and free, but selfish.
I needed to know this a long time ago.
I present no danger to anyone besides my own children. And this is not easy to speak of, even 400 years after I learned it. My daughter's condition is my fault, and my redemption lies in killing her. Do not pity me. Simply understand my situation.
I need my crew to be good at their jobs and keep their personal lives personal.
I understand. Nonetheless, if there is time, I would like to go to the Afterlife nightclub on Omega. Help me find my long-lost daughter, and kill her.
We'll go find Morinth.
Huh. What do you say to that? I mean, it's a bit awkward. I guess that's what we'll go do. That will help her loyalty. Get her some closure on something that's been, well, apparently haunting her for hundreds of years. And actually, I'm going to go catch up, do some last-minute shopping, right? Look at the last of my upgrades and things, and then I will meet you guys on Omega. Sounds like a plan. Alright, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. If you want to catch the playthrough of Mass Effect 1, you can click that top box. Should send you to that playlist. If you want to catch the rest of this playthrough up to this point, you can click the bottom box, send you to that playlist. Right? And I will catch you guys later. Y'all take care.